Now there is another method of seaming a vertical seam on your knitted swatches using a crochet hook and your yarn, and it's beautiful and almost invisible, but it is a little finicky. So I'm going to show you how to use this one, but I suspect that you may find that I'll have a little bit of a workaround for you later that you may find you'll use more frequently. So the idea is to take one leg of a stitch near the edge and to crochet it on top of a leg on the other side of your work. And so I'm showing you here on the gold because it's a little bit easier to see on the lighter colored yarn. But I'll go back down here and I'm going to begin a little higher up here just so that you can see what I'm doing a little clearer on the navy and then into the gold. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking my hook, and again, you're going to have to consider that your edge stitches are always they're a little bit inconsistent. That's the best word for it. And so when we do this method, you're going to want to take the interior leg on the edge. So if I look at this was actually, I'm kind of holding these upside down. Maybe I'll just turn them around. Maybe that's the solution to all the things. If you look at this one, so this is the direction that it was knit. I can tell because there are little V's on the edge. And so if I use the interior leg of this stitch, it's always going to be a little more consistent than the very edge stitch, which often has like a bump and then a longer stitch and a bump and then a longer stitch. So my eye is focusing on the interior stitch, if I can call it that, in this last stitch column on either side. Now, in order to get my stripes to match up, I may be seaming these together in different directions, but that doesn't matter because the technique works on all knit stitches. So I'm going to start about 3 rows down from where my stripe is changing, and that's just to make things easier for you to see. And I'm putting my crochet hook through one leg of that edge stitch, and I'm putting it through from the right side towards the wrong side. So I'm going down like this, and on the other side I'm going to find sort of like 3 rows down, and I'm going to put my crochet hook again in the same direction from the front to the back through the leg on the other side. And then I will get my yarn here. I've got a nice lengthy piece of yarn that I used to knit this swatch, and I'm going to fold it over my crochet hook and bring it through both of those loops so that my seaming yarn is, and the one that's folded over the crochet hook, the loop on my crochet hook is on top of my work. So I'm working with the right side facing. Now I'm going to take this little tail and I'm going to move it away so that I don't accidentally use it. And now I'm going to do the same thing, just 1 row up. So I'm taking my crochet hook and I'm putting it under one leg of the stitch on the edge, 1 row up, and through one leg of the stitch on the row, 1 row up, keeping the yarn in the back, 1 row up from where my first pull through was. And my crochet hook's going under my working yarn and it's pulling it through both of those stitches that are the edge stitches plus the loop that's on my crochet hook. I'm going to do that again. So edge stitch, there we go, just one leg of the edge stitch, one leg of the edge stitch on the other side, and now I'm going, there's that little tail has snuck up again. And now I'm going, my crochet hook is going under my working yarn and I'm pulling it through both of the edge stitches plus the loop that's on my crochet hook. Let me do that again. So edge, edge, my working yarn is behind in the back of my work. Yarn over with my crochet hook and pull it through everything on my crochet hook. And now I'm into the yellow. So I'm going to continue on here and work in the yellow for a little bit. And the nice thing about working with the same color on the same color is that this seam pretty much disappears into the background. It's like it's camouflaged, and because it's a chain stitch, it looks just like a knit row going up on top of these edge stitches. So I'll do a few more here, and then I'll show you what this looks like. And while I work, I'm continuing to just kind of eyeball it so that I work in a straight line. And by eyeballing, I mean that when I pull it through here and I go to pick my next edge stitch, I see where the yarn is coming out of this stitch, and I look for the leg right above it. And over here, I can see where the yarn's coming through this stitch, so I'm looking for the leg of the stitch right above that. And I know that I started in the middle of my seam, and I would start at the bottom, but I just wanted to get into this color change so that you could see the effect on both colors. So let's just take a little break here and have a look. So do you see what I mean about how it just completely disappeared here? And I took one like half leg of the edge stitch, but had I put my crochet hook into this leg, you wouldn't even see it. It would just be sitting here like a nice little row, just kind of like it looks here. That even with the stripe, you can have a nice visible line running up here that's going to look really nice and neat. And this is a strong seam. You can see that it's holding everything together quite nicely. And so this is called a flat seam. It's a joining technique in crochet, and you can use it in knitting. But as you saw, it's a little bit, just a little bit fiddly. And so that's something you'll have to keep in mind when you do this one.